hot, moist, spicy hues.
Finishing this cup of coffee and grabbing my tripod, and I'll be good to go.
When you want to woo woo, it's that woo woo. You know what I'm saying? It's
Some neighbors are saying way too loud.
That's only in the morning. You're supposed to be up cooking breakfast or something by then, so that's like an alarm clock. Woo woo.
Mic test, testing the mic, test the mic. Test the mic. How's those levels today? Dude, this dang old YouTube app. There it goes. That's only in the morning. Dude, what an asshole. I mean, he is very excited about the woo woo. You gotta give him that. Alright, let's do this thing, I think. I think it's this button. Do we have music? Yeah, it's playing. Cool. All right. Well, bienvenidos a mi transmisión espectacular. I'm Cameron, your host, country boy in a big city, presenting once more from the Bullshit Corner 2.0, and today we're gonna rub paint on titties. Hope everybody's doing well out there. This is gonna be a pretty intense week for the channel. Where's my preview projector? Let's get that up. There we go. And I can see what the heck I'm doing now. I think we maybe need to bring the exposure up. Perhaps even zoom it out. I can't actually zoom it out much more than that. But yeah, we're gonna start work today on our holiday spoopy season pinup model. So the model we're working on is a piece commissioned by Ronin Art Workshop. It is a collaboration between waifu porn artist Prywinko, this Kittew, who is a I guess, Instagram model, and this Heck person who sculpted it. I haven't actually seen any Heck stuff, but I did do a little bit of research into these other individuals, and it is definitely spicy content. This is very, very, yes. So it should be fun. We're in the same boat. If y'all remember the Goblin Pinup sprint over the holidays last year, where I had a week to paint the model and get a video done. We're in that same boat, so it's going to be a hell week, but we're going to try to get it done. I think we're going to stick to more rough paint work, and maybe stylize these gals a little bit more than before. I'm thinking maybe even some like basic colors, and then do some work with the OSL. Your hair get long? Yeah. Yes, it is. Yes, it is at this point. I think it's down to my belly button. Rub paint on my tits. Ah, yes. Okay, so without further ado, we want to think about where we're getting started here. I've already pre-prepped these models. If y'all saw the short today, or the post in the Blender on the Country Fried Discord, you can see kind of what I was going for with the lighting. The intention is to have like moonlight coming down from the top, so like a soft blue-gray kind of lighting, and that's where the gray zenithal has come in. And then we're gonna do underlighting, so we're gonna have pink light coming in this way, and then we've got some OSL coming off of the candles. That of course is going to include, we're gonna have to get paint on the inside of these, which I'm really not looking forward to. I think it's going to be a matter of hitting these with the airbrush to achieve like a yellow interior. But we're not going to worry about that yet. First things first, we're going to lay down some basic colors and just get stuck in on this project. Stream Elements is letting us know it's here. Ah, yes. So I hope you guys are having a good day out there, whether you're at work, whether it's your hobby desk, whatever you got going on. I'm going to go for a long time today and try to get as much done as possible between today and tomorrow. I don't think we're going to stream tomorrow, but we'll probably have some kind of stream on Wednesday before we go into, I believe the Dicks are doing some kind of honey heist event, whatever that means. Let's see, do we want that light on? I don't really want that light on. Maybe we want this light on. Yeah. Okay, so I think to get started, I want to just start doing an all-over coat of orange on the pumpkins. So for that, I almost want like a more neutral type, kind of mid-brown ochreish tone. I think we're gonna start with something in the more brownish territory. I kind of want some dark shadows, so let's begin with, none of these are leaping out at me. Let's begin with some flat brown. Very brown. Very brown-ass brown. And I actually think that we could probably skip filming painting the pumpkins for now. I don't think it's super important. And we're going to use a big-ass brush, and we're just going to apply some really rough coats to them. Really rough work. in favor of getting this done, I think we're gonna aim for more of like a painterly kind of approach to the models. Stylize it a little bit, lean more into the OSL, as opposed to like hard glazing and meticulous detail. All right, so let's begin with some flat brown. I think we have a clog. Let's address this real quick. Some toothpicks. Come on, man. There we go. Let's dig out our clog. Speaks to how little I use this paint, honestly. Things do appear to be flowing now, at least. Hey, what do you know? Chat crashed again. Dude, the YouTube app, for some reason, every single time an ad runs and I don't press the skip ad button, it crashes the, it like blanks out the chat and I have to reload the fucking stream. It's so bad. Also, if you want an ad-free experience, I definitely wouldn't suggest that you watch the stream in Firefox with AdBlock on. I wouldn't dare suggest that ever to anybody, that Firefox maybe works to block the ads. I hear it's a rumor. I can't confirm by personal experience that it actually does block all the ads and you never have to watch any without being bullied into paying for YouTube Premium. I wouldn't know that, no. And I definitely wouldn't suggest to y'all to do that instead of being bullied into paying money for YouTube Premium. Those of y'all who have been around for a long time know that I had an original like intent of doing ad-free stuff, but unfortunately, if you turn ads off, there's a twofold thing that happens. For one, YouTube suppresses your content. It just doesn't push it out as far. And of course, they still run the ads. You just don't get any of the money. Hope we're doing good today. I am manic as fuck, Mr. Squarepeg. And that, we're gonna try to harness that this week and just stay on a nice, intense, artistic, forward moving trajectory to take advantage of that. All right, so we're even gonna use a big ass brush for this, I think. Let's get a new brush. Let's crack into some Princeton brushes for this project. I'm gonna open this new pack of Real Value set. Big recommend this set. It's one of two sets. Here, let me get another one out to show y'all. I highly recommend, this one doesn't have a number on it, but the Princeton Art and Brush Co. Real Value set that comes with you get these 3 small round brushes and then the flats. This set's really good. It's like $8. And then the value set number 10 is also really, really nice. It's all round brushes. These are super affordable, very high quality synthetics. Obviously they're gonna break down because they're synthetic brushes. And they just don't have the longevity that natural fibers have, but they're cheap and they are animal cruelty free, which is the big factor for me. But I think we're going to use this gigantic 6 flat to get some very swift coverage on our pumpkin. I got the notification from YouTube, and then it asked me how satisfied I was that I got the notification. You know, honestly, I'm shocked that it even gave you the notification. That last stream before I stopped for a little while, community members were letting me know that they did not get notifications at all. So that really is shocking. Ooh, I love motorcycles. Dude, that guy's dick must be like at least 2 feet long. Okay, so we're just gonna go nuts with this here. And it looks like this paint is so opaque that I'm immediately destroying any of the OSL work, which really sucks. This is that whole thing I touched on in one of my recent videos. I think it was the Runa video, that doing the zenithal approach is often just a complete and total waste of time, depending on what you're painting. And this is proving to be one of those cases. Though, you know, we got a little bit poking through here. Maybe just a touch. I could thin this out even more. But we're so far in that I really don't care. At this point, let's just get paint on them, and we can work with it. And we'll use this big ass brush to get our work done. I think maybe the intention here is going to be perhaps to talk about taking a rough painterly approach and just having fun with a project rather than trying to really grind and try hard with all the glazing and stuff. Oh, and look, YouTube fed me an ad, so it crashed chat again. It's every single time. 2 baby feet, maybe? I don't understand. Dude. I don't know if y'all can see the light hitting my face, but there's a little sliver of sunlight sticking right in my eye from my window, and it's gonna be a huge fucking problem. Maybe I can scoot over, like over here, so it won't be in my eye. All my windows have these unsightly things like taped to the wall right next to them, because all the blinds have these little slits that are just perfectly angled to put the sun into my eyes. It's cool stuff. The best example is I have this little window up above the computer over there, and I've got three pieces of art just taped to the wall to cover up the gap to either side of the blinds, because at different points of the day they both shine a beam of light directly into my eye holes. And then the little pass-through holes on the blinds for the drawstring also shoots a perfect beam of light into my eye holes. Ooh, tell it to fork off. Yeah, I fucking hate the sun, dude. Give me that sweet, sweet nighttime and electric lighting. Alright, so intention here, we're going for a nice thin warm brown coat, and we want to get this down as quickly as possible, and then we're going to start just really working in those orange tones. And like I said, we're going to go more painterly with this. And I think it'll be really fun. Favoring getting paint on the model rather than like super try-harding. Not to keep reiterating myself, but that is what we're going for here. What is that? There's a little piece of something stuck to the model. The sun is still getting me. Let me shift a few inches over. Love it. It's actually the first I've noticed that doing it here. I guess the next step is probably to hang a blackout curtain over that window. It's the window right here is behind my like game shelf. So you can't get to it anyways to open it up. So might as well just block it out entirely. Rely on my artificial lighting. Alright, so I almost wish I had a bigger brush here. Faster, harder coverage. Boom. Oh, yay, ads. Fucking love ads, dude. Do you guys ever see ads on YouTube and you're like, oh yeah, let me go rush out and buy that thing right now? Fuck yeah. And you click on the link and buy the thing? Because that has never happened to me. Not even once. If anything, seeing an ad for the product makes me less likely to buy it. Do they work? Do ads actually work? Do people fall for that shit? It's like, fuck, I gotta download Raid Shadow Legends right now. Oh yeah, let me rush out and get that World of Tanks. Oh, Tempur-Pedic mattresses? Hell yeah. Fucking ridiculous. Alright. So, we're just about got these done with the first coat. And now I think what we're going to do is we're going to start layering in some nice orangey tones. Yeah. Well, I say that, but I think maybe that base brown needs to dry out really well before we dig into that. No idea, boss. There might be some significant statistics says it does, because there's people out there that thrive way too hard on the hype. Yeah, I mean, obviously it's got to work, right? Or they wouldn't do it so hard. Not only do they do it a lot, but it's like the entire business model of YouTube is to push ads and then to ramp up the pushing of ads to such an aggressive degree that they bully you into paying them to stop. It's it should be criminal. Okay, so I want to dig in now on the gals, and I have an idea for the direction. Let's get some bass tones on them, and I think the way we're going to do this is I want Prywinko to be a little bit a little bit more like olive-ish. God damn, this fucking, the beam of fucking sunlight is just, it's blinding. I almost canceled my Loot Studio subscription when their ads took over my watching experience. Yeah, it's it is far worse than like basic cable used to be when I was a kid watching TV. Like at least basic cable fed you an ad like every 7 minutes as opposed to every 3.5 minutes. Ads are the real thought crime. I genuinely believe that ads are a violation of human rights. They affect your decision making on a subconscious level without your consent. It's, you know, it's especially predatory to young people and the feeble-minded. And I, as one of the feeble-minded, don't appreciate it. Okay, so I think we're just going to continue with this real value set here. We just got some new brushes. I should have shown it to the camera. And I have another unopened pack here, so I can show it to the camera. Brazil passed a law that makes it so there cannot be more than a minute of ads. Yeah, I mean that sounds fucking reasonable. But you know, to limit the profit potential of the mega corporations is anti-capitalistic, and thus communism, and we couldn't suffer that. Oh no, no, no. So we need to adjust the exposure here. So I'm going to show to the camera my real value set, and we're going to show the number 4 here. Boop. Go. We can put this back up. These brushes are so inexpensive that I usually just add one to the cart anytime I'm buying on Amazon. Funny that I'm in here talking shit on capitalistic mega corporations, and yet I'm an avid Amazon enjoyer. Woo. All right, let's try to find something similar to our XV88 here. I'm thinking maybe khaki gray is a good base tone, or maybe beige brown, or maybe even flat earth. If I could find the dang thing. It's flat brown. I know I've got a flat earth up here. German camo pale brown, beige brown, Russian uniform tan earth. You gotta be fucking kidding me here, dude. Where's it at? It's hiding from me. There it is. All right. Flat earth is a little bit darker. Beige brown seems about where it's at. I think we'll do the beige brown. So we're gonna do a brown undercoat on Prywinko, and then I want to do like a pink undercoat on Kittew. So in the end, we'll have Prywinko looking a little bit more olivey, a little bit more like not tan, but like with the potential to tan. And I want Kittew to look like translucent, like very clear skin. All right, so let's get the camera back out. And we're going to show our beige brown to the camera. And we're going to put a big old squirt out there. And we're going to thin the hell out of it with a big old squirt of water. Oh my god, every time I touch this desk, I knock something else off. Where the fuck did that go? I dropped a piece of foam and it disappeared into the nether realm. Alright. My paint is running away from me. That's largely because my building is shoddily constructed and has a lean to it. So everything, all my surfaces are crooked. Alright, so let's make some room for my hand here. Alright, so we're going to start layering skin on. We're just going to really coat everything down solidly. It's mildly thinned down, so like we should still see some of the influence of that zenithal, but it's largely going to be destroyed, honestly. And I think we're actually going to switch over to our flat brush. We're going to use this 2 flat. And we're just going to coat all of her skin with a solid press of this color. It can be rough. I don't really care about the coverage or the quality, because this is an undercoat that is going to serve to influence the later color. So we're just going to go very rough, very quick, and get this on there. I had originally intended to limit the time on this model to a 31-hour challenge, but between my mental struggles this past month and the General Milquetoast reception to a challenge this month, we're just going to paint it up and have fun and re-up and rearm for perhaps some kind of community-wide challenge in the future when we grow a bit. Alright, so we're going to have skin color kind of poking through the fishnet here, so I want that here. I'm going to just cover everything with a very, very rough all over coating. Just getting the paint on it at this point is the important part. I don't even care about like how much cleanup I have to do later. Maybe the only thing I'm actually concerned about is trying to not get too many bubbles on the model. But we need to get paint on quickly. and get as much work done as swiftly as possible. That's the idea here. We have a little bit of skin shown at the top of her back, so we'll do that. And then we've got her shoulders are exposed. And then we got the hand on Kittew's hip. Let's get that in there. And then I think that's decent coverage. Yeah. Let's roll with it. And stop the recording. And we'll do a similar attack on Kittew now with a like magenta tone. I wouldn't even call this like a base coat. It's more like it's more of a, not a shade, but like a underdrawing, if you will. Let's find a nice suitable magenta tone for our lady. Let's maybe clean up all the shit I threw in the corner. I don't know about y'all, but like sometimes when I'm focused on a task, things like bumping into my hand or forearms or elbows, it just like gets really fucking annoying. And I tend to collect stuff in this space right here, so it ends up feeling like it's attacking me. Alright. Anyhow, this will buy us a little time to let shit dry too. Put you up here. Boom, boom. Get this up here somewhere. There we go. Little cleanup, you know? That can go there, that can go there. Keep that out. Alright. I never grabbed a magenta. Shit. Where is my magenta? I think we want that classic apple barrel color, our bright magenta here. And we'll use that to base coat Kittew. I need this brush. Okay. We're gonna hit Pro Video, get our bright magenta. Remove all the crusty shit. Put some out. Make it real thin. Mix it up. Enjoy the sirens going by. And get stuck back in doing similar attack to Kittew. And then her legs are going to be as per the reference material. She's got like stockings that they've painted very translucent, so we're going to do something similar, but that does mean we need to come in and coat those with the initial skin tone as well. We'll darken it down with like washes and glazes or a rough mix. And I think as far as the video goes, like this will kind of be part of the talking points, part of the part of the topic, we'll touch on this again, that it's all a very painterly approach. Hitting it roughly. Taking a very lackadaisical isn't the term. It's more like a carefree, a rough approach. It's funny to think that like language is failing me here, because like I basically want to say slipshod without the negative connotations of that term. Or like loose without it being negative. It's interesting that language is kind of failing to provide what I'm intending here. Okay. She definitely doesn't have as much skin showing. Because the suit is more like a full... Yeah, I guess it's about the same. It's about the same. Let's get that pink on there. Boosh, boosh, boop, boop. Let that do its thing. Set these to the side and we'll go back to working on the pumpkin. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Please respond, phone. All right. Experimental could work. It's not experimental. Unbothered is... Unbothered doesn't touch on the, like, the technical... Or the thing is, we have words for it, but they're all really, really negative. God damn, this fucking... I gotta hang something over that slit of fucking sunlight. It's gonna... It's like literally blinding me. Be right back while I find something to hang over that. Alright, I found a piece of foam and some thumbtacks, and I'm going to cover the offending sun. Absolute ass clown ball of fire that is disrupting my ability to work. I don't understand it. I guess this time of year is just really perfectly angled. Is that even the right hole? Yep, that was it. Fuck you, son. fucking sun so much. I hate the sun. How do I go into here? There we go. Yeah, I think next investment is going to be a blackout curtain for that window specifically. It's awful. Freeform says what you mean without negative feels. Yeah, but it's not freeform. It's still within the constraints of... I know I'm plugging on semantics here. Freeform would suggest that I'm ignoring the outline. If that makes any sense. What I need is a word that I need lackadaisical, but like without the negativity. Should we just invent a word here? That's a tough one. I think I need some knowledge of like some etymology to build that up. Okay, so let's work with bright orange maybe for our pumpkins. We got bright orange and we got clear orange. And I think we can also use our sunset orange. We got these fun colors here. And then our initial, what color was it? It was flat brown. I put it up for some reason. There we go. I think we're gonna use, I need like a palette. Yes. I need a palette for these. Let's scrape off the squash that we had on there before with my bench scraper. Get all that free. Wow. A couple of these colors have weird binder ratios. There we go. What was that we were using that for? I cannot remember what we were painting where I decided against the gouache. Did we paint a pinup recently? Oh, it was the... was it the little bust? Yeah. Yes, octobust. Okay, so we're gonna use this because I need lots of space to mix colors, and unfortunately this little tiny wet palette does not do the trick. So we got our bright orange, we got our clear orange, we got our sunset orange, and then I need like a puddle of water maybe. Get one of these that's like the least corrupted. I think this one. And we just want to fill this up with water. It's got some dust floating in it. Octobust. Man, the mental image that just got summoned at the concept of octobust is not a pretty one. Okay, so let's get some water down. Let's get some flat brown. Let's get some, we'll start with this orange. And we're gonna just start attacking one of these pumpkins with it. Still not quite thin enough. And eventually, I think what I'll do is I'll come back in and hit the pumpkin mouths with the airbrush. Stick it in there and hit them with the yellow. We'll definitely are going to do some OSL with yellow candlelight as well on the outside. So I'm really looking forward to that at some point. But we just want this like kind of rough foundational painting. I don't know if you guys have ever seen like the process of doing like an acrylic portrait, but there's like a lot of foundational stuff that goes into it. All right, that looks okay. Let's move over to the next pumpkin, and I think what we'll do is use our other oranges here and create a different tonality. And we're artsy fartsy with it, you know? Like, they're gonna be orange because they're pumpkins, but some subtle slight variations is gonna be really, really nice to have. Very freeing to work this way. Maybe this is free form. I don't know. Freeform just seems like I've put out too many of the barriers, if you will. Freeform sounds like you've removed all the guardrails, and we still have a few in place. For my pumpkins, I really try-harded making them look like they're painted oils in 15 minutes. It took me like 20 minutes. I like how you described, I wanted them to look like they were done quickly by doing them quickly. That's awesome. The best part of all this is, like, eventually we're going to be working in some glazed light anyways, because I want like I want that same pink glow that we kind of did for the 8-hour bust coming from kind of underneath. That is the wrong pumpkin. Let's fix what we just fucked up there real quick. Okay, that's looking all right. This one underneath, we want to have like a very palish color, so we're gonna grab our sunset orange and start working that in. It's almost like a flesh colored pumpkin. Who you calling a flesh pumpkin? All right, let's start in on that. It's maybe a little too intense at the moment. Let's bring it back down with some darker brown. I kind of want to make the little one on the front like black green. We may yet do that. Actually, all the little ones may go black green. I think that'll be fun. Alright, so we have some nice coverage there. I think we may even want to like start layering in a little bit of darker color here. Just do some like heckin' wet blending here. We maybe need some more flat brown on this palette. Can of SpaghettiOs. Wait, are you eating SpaghettiOs? I don't think I've had SpaghettiOs in like a decade at this point, honestly. Let's work in this darkness on top here. Boom. There we go. New paper towel. I am, he says. Yes. Okay, so I think for the big pumpkin in the back, let's just get an arbitrary blend of these tones here. A little different than the others, maybe. I want some more of the brown in there. I'll start coming in with it. This one's very fleshy. Ooh, that splatter right there actually makes me want to do some flecks on these. May very well have to do that. All right, let's get that going. And then we're going to layer back in a little bit more of our super dark brown up here. Boom, 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 boom. Just really no care. This is definitely freeform painting here. I'm sorry I keep hitting the camera. It is, you know what would solve that? If I had and could afford a wireless, or not a wireless, mirrorless camera, so I could put it further away from the work with a zoom lens. Maybe someday. Maybe someday. Alright, let's get some orangey tone in there. And then I think this one, we actually are going to want like a very orange. Yeah, there we go. This one gets really, really orange. And then we're going to start coming back in with our really dark browns again here to kind of tamp it back a little bit. And I think we may just let this layer kind of dry out before we start in with too much stuff. It's just like some foundational color. It sucks because this would be, I think this would actually be pretty interesting for content to record. Oh well, this is just for y'all. We're in the stream right now. Thank you for watching. Oh, chat died again. What do you know? YouTube fed me an ad and it crashed chat. It just like, it comes back out of the ad, and then when the chat opens back up, there's nothing there. It's just empty. Okay. So we should probably let this dry. We'll hit it with some more work at some point soon. But we got these nice foundational brownish orangish tones on there. And I do have another palette hanging up there, so we could get around to that as well eventually, if this isn't dried out enough to use. But let's move you for now. Where could we put this? I think it could probably go right there for now. Yeah, perfect. I think we want to dive back into our gals. I think Kittew needs a second pass of magenta. Let's do that really quick. All right. Just rough all over coating. I think we'll end up just getting the skin completely done before we move back in on the clothing, especially in that I'm going black with the outfits, because why wouldn't they wear black? You wear black because that's what you want to be seen in. And you think these ladies are dressed like this to not be seen? No, that'd be silly. It isn't just an ad thing. It does the same thing sometimes when I turn my screen off or go into picture-in-picture mode and come back. Interesting. Switch to top chat. I'll try that next time. The thing is, it comes back in top chat. Like it is already switched back to top chat when it comes back from the ad. There's a support here that got missed. That is such an unsightly scar now. Holy moly, I cannot believe there's a support there. You know, the sculptor could have avoided this problem by making the hand a separate piece there. I can't even get to it to remove it. I think we gotta bust out the power tools to do that. Awful. Awful, awful, awful. We're gonna use this little tiny grinder bit right here. How's the focus today, by the way? It looks kind of out to me. Is the exposure low as well? Let's see. Yeah, that's hella out of focus. This has been out of focus the whole time. Shit fire. Let's bring our focus into here. Let's boost our exposure back to where it should be. Yeah, there we go. Shit. What did I just drop? It was a knife blade. Oh, look, ads. Fucking ads, dude. The amount of ads is unreal. There's a window in the back of Kittew's leopard. I see it. I see it, and it is a very soft detail. Alright, can we grind this? I mean, I can't even get the tool in there to fuck this. Sorry about the blowing into the mic there. Okay. Now, I'm pretty sure I made a little sanding tool for this, but I don't see it anymore. I might have thrown it away. I think we're going to build a sanding tool for this. All right, let's just do it. Alright, so how we're going to do this is we're going to cut a toothpick at a nice angle. So we got this angled bit here. And then I need just a little piece of this 1000 grit sandpaper here. The tiniest little bit. We'll use the scissors to remove it, so we get some nice clean edges on it. Where'd that go? How do these things happen like that? Gotta slide it all the way off the table to pick it up. Alright, and then we're gonna put a piece of hot glue on it, I guess. I thought I had a lighter up here. It's in the other room. Give me a second. Alright, so there's our thing. We want nice, liquidy, really hot glue here. Yep, and then we're gonna get this guy right here. I usually keep a lighter at the painting desk, but I have since lost it. Bum bum ba-dum. Is that on there firm yet? Yes. Yes, it is. All right, and then we're gonna trim what we can. I want this sanding pad as tiny as we can make it. There we go. There we go. All right, and now we have this tiny little sanding thing. Where's the focus? About right there-ish. And we're going to get in here and sand that smooth. This is the same grit we used to, I should have filmed this whole fucking thing. Oh well. We'll get the important stuff in the filming. We'll get the important stuff. Okay. That looks pretty good to me. Looks like we did a good job with the grind. There are little specks of shit that came over with that pink. I think we're also going to sand that. Okay, there we go. Let's start filling back in that void with our pink color. Oh, there's dust all over this. Okay, here we go. Here we go. I think we were putting work on the chest anyways, right? Okay, so from here, I think we want to start working in like a nice cold blue shadow. It's kind of what I'm thinking, at least. Oh no, I need to do, I got to do a second pass on Prywinko first. And then we'll work in our cold blue shadow. Yeah, let's come in with this tone, and we'll do a second pass on the lady. And we'll film the next section, I think, is the plan. Trying to get out of the habit of filming everything, because my dang hard drives are all so full of footage that is like 95% unused. And like, honestly, a lot of it, I don't know why I'm holding on to it, because like, when am I going to revisit any of the footage from the Crater Cobras? Or when am I going to revisit any of the footage from the damn Orloff Grenadiers, right? Like, literally never going to touch it. Okay, there we go there. Boom, boom, boom. Let's get that chest. Ears. Can you really see that other ear? Not really, but we still want to get a little bit of brown in there anyways. There we go. Okay. Let's let the gals dry for a minute, we can revisit the pumpkins for a moment. I think just how my butt is full of bees, yes. Clipped the end point of the support scar surgery for easy short building. Ooh, fuck yeah. Yeah. That'll be good. We'll use that for tonight's short. I was just thinking about that this morning, like what are we gonna do for shorts today? Trying to keep a daily short rolling for y'all. Okay, so back to Pumpkin Town, and I think we're just gonna like hit these with some shadow at this point. Hit it with some shadow, and then we can start testing a deep blue shadow tone as well. We'll use this Imperial Blue. I think I have a Midnight Blue. Yeah, there we go. Night Blue. We'll use this Night Blue, and we'll do the pumpkins will be like a test subject for it. So let's go back to pumpkin work. Get that dish of water, and then our big fat brush again. We're gonna just start with some blue. Start hammering some blue in there. Start hammering that into the crevices. And then this is underneath Kittew's legs, so this is all like gonna be very shadowed anyways. Alright, now we're gonna grab a little bit of our brown while our blue is still really wet, and we're gonna start blending our brown, just very roughly attacking that area. Give it a little back and forth treatment. Add some water into the mix. I just hit the brush into some water and going back in and smoothing those edges, and then we'll grab some blue again. Grab some blue and put it in the deepest areas. Okay, and we want a little bit of blue on the back as well. So let's come in here with our blue again. Really ram it in those. Ram it in all of that. Underneath this thing. Alright, pick up some brown again. Ding, Popcat. Hell yeah. I do love a Popcat. Silly Popcat. Let's force some blue into those shadows. There we go. Oh god. That's bad right there. I guess that's what happens if you put too much water in the mix. Timberwolf?
No, man. That's,
I love the little laugh.
That's just cheating. I don't want to lose my friends, man.
Alright. Just get in here with the blue. Like I said, this is going to be very painterly. I'm going to treat this more like a I mean, almost more like a traditional painting than a model. At least the pumpkins. They should not be the focal point. And we do want some like extreme difference between the shadows and the OSL that's going to be on them. So let's get some blue on there. Mix it in the shadows. We'll bring some brown back into it. Once again. Get those edges. We're just basically gonna keep going back and forth with this approach until they start to look like we've got some visual interest, and then we're gonna go back in with the airbrush and stick it in their mouths and spray the interiors nice and bright yellow. They're already white in there. All right, that establishes our shadows. We're gonna set that aside to dry. Which one's the dirty water? Dirty water? That's dirty water. Slapdash might not be so negative, but still has constraints. Slapdash is kind of it's like the opposite of quality work. Slapdash, slipshod, they're all very negative. I just think we need some new language here, Mr. Nate. We need some language to reflect letting go of constraints. I need a word that suggests letting go of restriction, but still holding within the confines, right? I'm painting inside the lines, but I'm not worrying about the technical aspects of it. Your dirty water? I don't know if that's true. Sketching? It is a bit like sketching, isn't it? It is indeed a bit like sketching. Okay, so on the topic of sketching, I think we're going to do a little shadow sketching here. Let's get back out the camera. Zippy-doo. I'm wondering if I should put some color on their clothes before putting the shadows on. Yet. I'm not going to worry about it. Not going to worry about it. Let's put on the blue shadows. We know what color we have. We can always work it back in and to match. Come on, phone. All right, so we're going to show the camera our night blue. We're going to put some down. And we're going to make this also hella thin. Hella thin, and we're gonna go back to that 4 round that we had earlier. And we're gonna start sketching shadows. Loosing, as in your favorite BT artist who was more interested in getting the job done than structural integrity. Hmm. I don't know if it works. Maybe. Loose had like he abandoned what do you call it? He abandoned perspective norms. He bent perspective. He really experimented with that. So maybe. All right, so we want our shadows. Our shadows are largely to the lower right quadrant, so I'm gonna stick to that. I think this is sketching. Start working in our shadows. We can be just completely covered under here with the blue. It's funny, this project is going to be one of those where it's like, it looks really bad for a long time. And then it starts to come together. But we're still doing layering instead of glazing here. I guess this is almost glaze because it's very, very thin, but I'm just gonna do a ton of layers. We're gonna work in that blue, bring it back and forth. We're gonna treat it the same way we're doing the pumpkins, just very thin paints back and forth here and there. And eventually what we'll end up with is this, we're gonna have this kind of cool blue-gray light coming down from above, and then this otherworldly, like, pink kind of magenta glow coming from the bottom right. And then they also get some OSL on the back, but I want the backs to be like kind of hard shadow into bright, into the bright yellow. Alright, that's plenty of footage. Like 4 minutes of that there. Hey, ads! I love ads. It is very blue, is it not? It is quite blue. I can't think of a better application for like a midnight blue than suggesting the shadows of nighttime. Shit, I think we even need some more water in that. There we go. Get those shadows up. That's maybe too much, but that's fine. We can work with that. Work with all of that. Maybe broke it. I think I need a little more blue in the blue. You know, Mr. Nate, it almost feels like the accusatory tone of as in your favorite Battletech artist, but it's true. It is quite true. Alright. So this goes underneath. Yeah, this is definitely sketching, Mr. Mental. So we're leaving shapes here. I do need to at some point think about where our lighting is going to be hitting coming out of the pumpkins. I know that we have some lighting hits spilling across the top of the knees, so we maybe need like an intense bit of blue like right there. I think Kittew will have less shadow on like the tips of her toes. So we're gonna quickly do 2 layers here. The backs are very shadowed for the most part. I'm gonna go ahead and start putting shadow on the clothing as well, I think. Some underneath the hand there. Still don't know what color hair we're doing. I'm thinking like a purple for Prywinko, and then maybe black hair with like neon green tips for Kittew, or the pink tips, just really lean into that pink feel. I need to study this part of paintwork. I never can feel like I'd be ruining my thing at this stage. I never can't feel like I would be ruining my thing at this stage, so I'm always taking super long, being careful. I think what you need, Mr. Mental, is you need a fun model that's really inspirational to paint, but you don't really care about fucking up. To really embrace that and just like go nuts, have fun with it, play with it, figure it out, experiment. I'm definitely making this up as I go here. Just trying to use a little bit of like traditional painting know-how, I guess. I know that I'm like gonna largely cover this blue up, right? So I'm just going super ham with it. Trying to be somewhat deliberate, like, okay, the knees, we got this light spilling down with the knuckles right there. Like the bottom of this pumpkin should all be blue. And then like kind of in the crevices. I know that the deep folds of the clothes should be super blue. All this in the dark shadow should be And then what we can do now, I think, is to start dipping back into our previous tones, because our pumpkins are still a little wet. So we're gonna come in with the camera again. I think we're gonna start with a little bit of the pink or the magenta on Kittew. So we're gonna take our blue again. And we're gonna take our magenta color. I always care about messing up, and then I feel bad I want to do something else and say, yeah, I get that. I think there's a certain amount of embracing the jank. Maybe. Might be necessary here. Dude, you know it'd be really good. I said it in one of my really, really ancient videos that is no longer on YouTube publicly anymore. Just because it's not up to the current like standard of filming on the channel. But those little bags of like plastic army men, those are perfect for testing stuff on, because they have just enough detail to like actually paint them, but they're dirt cheap, and who cares if you ruin them, you know? All right, so we're gonna come back in with another layer of shadow, and this is just a nice blend of our dark blue and our magenta. We're just going to apply it all over to leave some of that deep blue in the deep spots. But we're using this to kind of solidify our shadow layer. And then the best part is all of this is going to get like skin tone layered in a translucent fashion all over it. So like this is one of like, I don't know, like 10, 12 layers that we're going to do on this gal. It's the best way to hold this. There we go. It's like Shadow 4. The magenta itself is a shadow layer. It's kind of just setting up some tonality, if anything. It's all influence. It's gonna spill into the model later. Bam, 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 bam. So I'm not even worried about like coverage here. Don't really care. Just get that color on there, you know? we'll build up the influence. It's crazy because we're going to go all the way up into skin tone, and then we're going to put pink back on it again. And I find that really funny. Okay. Who's this? Left hand. Ah, yes. I trust my left hand. Okay, so I don't necessarily need to film Prywinko. Well, maybe I do. Yeah, we'll get a little bit on there at least. So same deal, we're going to take our night blue. Definitely don't need as much as we put out before. We're going to take our beige brown and put it in there and thin the heck out of it. Alright, let's start attacking Prywinko then. The camera does not want to focus on this model, not even a little bit. I have to force it. Same deal. Come in, hitting the model with some color, building up those tones. Trying to pick where to leave the darkest shadows. The sanding on the butt came out really good. That little bit of layer shift I was very worried about, but it turned out to be fine. And then like here, we're basically covering all the blue except for the deepest lines, like where clothing meets skin, or like in between where the legs contact, or in their cleavage. And even that, like I kind of want to push this shadow color into the cleavage a little bit so that it's like not a cartoonish line. If that makes any sense. We need a little bit back here. Bow, 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 bow. And then she's got a hand that rests on Kittew. So we need that to be her skin shadow color. There we go. I'm satisfied with that. We're just gonna juggle back and forth until we get going somewhere. All right, let's let those dry and switch back to pumpkin. Switching back to the pumpkins. All right, what do we want for pumpkin work? I think we're just gonna start mixing back in some oranges arbitrarily. Where's my big brush? There we go. We're gonna come in with some of this, I think. And some of that brown. Let's bring that back. There we go. Take a little bit of the blue too. We still have some really wet spots. We're just gonna, I think we're just gonna start softening shadow edges here, is the approach. Soften up those shadow edges. Cover over this bad work right here. Soften all those edges. Boom, boom, boom. This thing is like leaking at the bottom too. So we're gonna soften the edge, but then also work down onto the ridges, basically. Like that. I don't really want to fill any of the cracks too much. And I think our flat brush is really going to help here with that, because we can turn it sideways and kind of chisel in the colors where we want it. Alright, start working in some bright tones. A little bit of that in there, maybe. Bringing it back with a time attack. Just going nuts here. There is no... This is freeform for sure. We won't really know what these pumpkins are going to look like till we get like 20 layers in. I mean, really. They're definitely going to be much more orange than they are now, but we want those dark ass shadows to really sell the scene. And then they're also going to get like that same directional lighting treatment that we've been seeking. Bit here, a little bit here. Spooky indeed. I think spoopy is more appropriate because it's like, it's spooky season stuff, but it's also like, you know, nearly nude chicks. Not exactly gonna get you, you know what I mean? I'm so afraid I'm going to break another one of these candle flames holding this thing. Alright, so we got this nice like blue-brown foundational stuff going on with the pumpkins. I want that layer to dry out. Don't forget there should be dark ass shadows where the asses will be making shadows. Yeah, exactly. Ain't it the truth? We could layer back in a little bit of blue on those. Right here. Asses are making shadows here. And then right here. Man, meow, 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 potato, meow, meow. All right, stick this palette back up on the shelf. Thank you, plastic sheet. Hey, ads. I love it. Is this an unskippable? Nope, it's skippable. It's a skippable ad. I only managed to break 2 candle flames off. I was able to stick them back on. I broke one and also lost it, so I may have to sculpt one. But I have an idea. I just used some hot glue, I think. That should work beautifully. All right. So let's read our tones here. I really want to leap up the magenta here. All right. Coming back in for another pass here. We're kind of hitting the point where we can leave the shadow up behind and underneath. And we're just, yeah, having fun with it. Alright, so we're going to start being a little more discerning about where our shadows lie. Though this is still like a really deep shadow layer that's going to get overpainted by a ton of different colors. It's interesting because I want some really dark shadows near the face, but we also need to work in like skin tones, you know? That needs a super dark shadow. And then there's also the whole like lit from below thing that's happening. We're gonna need to worry about. But I need that blue influence in there. Most of this hand can just get covered up. How much of this is actually going to be seen, you know? Is this going to be necessary at all? Kind of the thought here, because you know we're gonna have like 60 fucking layers of paint on this damn thing, and eventually that's gonna start to build up, so we really need to think about that. Okay, I think that's enough on Kittew. Let's come back in and give a similar approach to Prywinko. Ads, yuck. So happy I was given premium. Should also make my view worth like 1/100th of a cent, I guessed. I think it's... It may be more than that. I think it's like 1/10 of a cent. But that's fine. The ads are definitely awful. Not a fan. So again, I would never recommend to anybody to download Firefox even on your phone and install something like ad blocker and watch YouTube that way, because you know I'd have no idea whether or not that would actually block the ads and ensure that you never see one again. No, I'd have no way of knowing that, and I definitely wouldn't recommend it to anybody who watches Country Fried Minis. No, I wouldn't do that at all. That would be silly of me. You definitely shouldn't download Firefox and ad blocker, uBlock Origin or uBlock Lite to block all the ads on YouTube. You definitely shouldn't do that. Alright, so coming back in with more color buildup. Again, very painterly approach. Basically, by the time we get to like skin tones, the skin tones are kind of going to be a suggestion, if that makes sense. We're just kind of hinting at their colors because they're in the moonlight, they're in the dark, they're being lit by Satan, who is definitely real and not nonsense. He's got like a glowing light coming out the tip of his 10-foot long demon dong. It's basically ornamental at this point. It's more like a street light than an actual sex organ. And it lets off a ghastly pink glow. And it's always from underneath, so you get that fun, like, classic flashlight under the face spooky season trope in the lighting of your subjects. All of this. We're starting to hit it with a stippling attack to not only get intentionally uneven coverage, but also to like leave out getting the color in the deepest recesses. Okay. I think at this point we can move back into our base shadow tones again and reestablish those. No thinking required, just keep adding paint. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I really need all these like deep spots of blue paint to dry out on these boys here before we move on. Otherwise, I'm going to keep pulling it back out, and I really don't want to do that. So, I think it's time for a new sheet. Thank you, sheet 1. You have served us well. Where are we sitting at? We're 2 hours in. It's that lewd lady with that lewd song. Okay, so at this point, we're going back into our original tones. So we're gonna dig into some bright magenta. For Kittew. Show it to the camera. Put a little bit on the tray. Don't need much. We're going to do about a 3-to-1 ratio, maybe a little less, like a 2.5-to-1 ratio. I want a very thin covering paint here. We're going to dig in on our mini again. We're going to start stippling. Again, more stippling. Largely rebuilding what was already there. But now we've got this like depth to the underpainting. Be a little bit more deliberate about our shadow colors, and we've got these really deep tones established. We can leave like a blue shadow wherever we so desire. Now. very patchy at the moment, largely owing to the low quality pigments here. That's fine. Paradoxically, we want the darkest shadows kind of up under the hat brim for her face. There's probably enough filming on that. Some pink on there. Some here, put some in the small of the back there. In the window, as you said, Mr. Nate. All right. Establish some coverage. Okay, so now we also need our beige brown for Prywinko. Why my truck smell like mashed potato? Did you roadkill a tater? I don't think so, but it's uncanny. I can smell the whole recipe. Are you having a stroke? And if so, you should not be, because stream hands should always be above the table. All right, so we got our beige brown as well. I'll give this same treatment to Prywinko here. Start jabbing at it with a little more care. A little more care, for sure. We're like reestablishing shadow at this point. Reestablishing a shade tone. This isn't even the base color. So many colors down. That's why we're still using the same tone on the legs, for instance. On this leg, I should say. Even though it's in the fishnet and it's going to be darker. We're still so far into shadow territory that we're using the same tone instead of any kind of variance. We're still okay with the mottled appearance as well. It all's going to get slowly smoothed out later. As we add more and more and more and more paint to our ladies. A little bit here. I think this is all like really dark territory here towards the back, so we're not as worried about getting good coverage on those. At some point we will need to like put the models up against the pumpkin again and see where our dark shadows are going to be. Or not our dark shadows, our OSL from the candlelight. This is actually destroying my wrist, y'all. Holding the models like this. All right. Start in with a bit of a second pass. Okay. Tater trucking. He is the truck potato. Ah, yes. 50-50 russet and red, sour cream, garlic, bunch of butter, black pepper, and a sprinkle of basil instead of parsley and chives. I decided on opaque leggings on purpose, even if only 3 or 4 legs are dressed. Because it's chilly wherever they're trick-or-treating at. Is it? How pronounced are the nips? They're there. Just a little bit, but they're there. Yeah. Part of why I didn't assemble them. So I decided against keeping them unassembled for twofold reason. One was there was some heinous gaps right here. Absolutely heinous gaps. The tight fitting on the arms was really difficult to get in there, and I want my lighting to match. So now I have to suffer with trying to hold these things in an operatable fashion. Operable? Opera GX? What was that? It's like it's a browser thing, right? Where do I know that from? Oh yeah, YouTube ads. Continuing to stipple.
And a double
And
helping
a
of
double helping of gravy. Hello, Mr. Miles. I've been busy with work, but finally got a break to come hang out in the stream chat for a bit. Yeah. Nobody got hams big enough? Yeah, these are huge models. I really should have mounted them to a handle, I think. That would have been smart. Just about ready to start doing like actual brushwork instead of this stippling business. Just about there. Popping cat pop. Wait, what would cat pop be? Is that cat flavored soda pop? Or is it just regular soda but there's cats on the cans? And then what even would cat flavor be? I'm not thinking cat meat flavored. I'm thinking like cat flavored. All right. That looks all right. Let's do a second pass on Prywinko. Salmon flavored? Yeah, yeah. Pop 4 cats. Yes. Still can. Yes. Yes. Now I'm picturing a cat like using its cat grippers to crack open a cold one. But of course it's a cat, so it does it very loudly at like 3 o'clock in the morning. Yes. Makes aggressive eye contact with you as it does it too. Because it is cat. Alright. Ruin that shadow a little bit there. The knee, get the under the knee area, get the tootsies, all of this, bam, 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 top of the hand, chesticles, bam, some paint on it. Kind of the side of the hand. There we go. On that shoulder still. All right, so I think we're just about ready to start glazing on skin tones. Just about. I think maybe one more pass of our shadow color is important here. Let's try to reduce that mottled appearance just a little bit. Let's get up in here. Okay, a little bit more right there, because this is actually the I don't think I'd call it a shadow. Actually, it's more like it's the influence tone. It's like the underpainting color of the skin. Okay. We should do one more pass on Kittew as well. Dude, hot glue a pencil into one of Kittew's drain holes. It's not the worst idea. Not the worst idea. Let's take a second to make sure we're not going to get any blue on them. Take a moment to set them in position and assess if our shadows are correct. Yeah, there we go. So we can kind of just like completely ignore up underneath, though I do see a problem. We need this pink to come more onto this side here. And we also need it on the inside right here. Bam. Right there. Just put them back again. Okay, so inside of the leg. I don't think any of Prywinko's lower extremities are going to get anything. This is all really deeply shadowed, but we can read that off of the models. Yeah. All right, let's go around. One more pass on our pink tone. One more pass on our pink tone. This can be pushed down a little bit further. Boom, all of this. She's kind of side lit a bit. Push into here. Like that. Another pass up here. I just want this to be similarly strong to the beige brown coverage. It's a weak craft paint. Foundational tones. I really should have filmed a little bit of this, but I really don't fucking care at this point. We're going to start layering in stuff. And honestly, the less footage I have, the less I have to edit this week. A little pink on the ear. The hand over here needs one more attack. Okay. Let's let those dry. We'll do another pass on our pumpkins. Yeah. Yeah. Hot gluing a pencil. I don't know how I feel about hot gluing a pencil, sir. Dang old hot glue pencil. Can't just hot glue pencils into people. Imagine if someone tried to hot glue a pencil into you. Alright, we're gonna go some bright orange here. We're gonna go some flat brown. I'm gonna grab some water. I'm gonna make a nice pumpkin-y color for. We're gonna do these pumpkins one at a time, I think, at this point. Yeah, that's the tone. Something is sticky on this dang old pumpkin. Oh, I almost forgot about the dark shadow. Let's do it like that. There we go. Yes. I think we're doing all right. Making kind of decent progress here. Let's get this going on. I suppose I should do maybe 2 of these pumpkins in that color. What do y'all think? This one and that one maybe? Kind of the same tone? Kind of what I'm thinking. Yeah, I think this one could stand to be a similar color. Dun, dun, dun. Pumpkin Town. Y'all never had just like hot glazed pumpkins? Sounds like a porn thing, but it is. What if we just go with what we have here and just lean into it? Let's go ahead and just fucking paint these 2 pumpkins that we're working on. Yeah. Go further into it. I am so gonna break these damn flames. Alright, so what we're doing here, just building up like kind of an average average tone on these things, because they're gonna get hella OSL later. And I really don't want them to be like cartoony orange, you know? I roasted a pumpkin one time, then filled it with hot custard. That's more of like a pumpkin injection, which is also a porn thing. Is it not? Either way, it's I don't know how I feel about it, to tell you the truth. It's bothering me in an odd way. You know, because it's a porn thing. Alright, so... Popcat? Thank you, Nightbot. Okay. So, this is still too wet to keep layering, I think. But we're in the right ballpark on that. So maybe we do one more pass on these other pumpkins using clear orange this time instead. And then we can go back to working on the gals. Looking at those pumpkins makes me want some roasted pumpkin seeds. Yeah, no kidding. I feel you there. All right, let's do something similar here. What's the best way to hold this? I think like that, yeah. Start working in this new tone, starting from the top. See, it's interesting here because there's going to be these harsh shadows on the pumpkins, but there's also like this really intense OSL coming out of their faces. So kind of want to get both. And then I know for sure we're going to be doing like edge highlighting around the names. We started by attacking the tops so that we could unload the brush a bit. And I want the brush kind of loosely loaded as we come down into these darker tone areas. All right, it's looking okay. So much back and forth. The scope of this thing is very intimidating. Honestly, I think we're on schedule for like 3 days of painting. As much as I would like it to be done quicker, I don't think I can get this done in 2 days. So we'll probably end up doing same thing tomorrow, and then, or not same thing tomorrow, but similar painting tomorrow, and then a stream on Wednesday, which will then redirect into the Dick stream, because those guys are doing some kind of Halloween special, and I want to be there for that. Let's do this pumpkin in our bright orangey tone. Or what is it? Clear orange. Clear orange. And then we're going to do all the little pumpkins in the black green. Pumpkin prawn in the kitchen? I don't really think I want to see a pumpkin prawn. Now, is a pumpkin prawn like shaped like a pumpkin? Or is it a pumpkin carved into a prawn? Or is it like kind of a reddish pumpkin? It's like shrimp colored. I'm curious. All right, let's get a little bit more clear orange into this mix. We'll do a second pass. It's right there. That, I'm using so much orange here. Let's dig back in. See, it's maybe still a little too wet to work on. I think maybe we just set that aside, actually. And we think about skin colors. What are we going to do for skin tones? What are we going to do for skin tone? I kind of think Prywinko is going to be Parasite Brown. And I think that just posted the next WIP pick of my big catapult as print issues. I'm testing things on it. Use speed paint markers on it. Next step is oil wash experiment. Indeed. I think Kittew is going to be Pale Flesh, and Prywinko is going to be Parasite Brown. Parasite Brown as like the primary color, I think. We could do heavy skin tone, actually. Prywinko could be heavy skin tone. Actually, I think that is what we're going for. Yeah, because we used the Parasite Brown before. So it could do to dig into this kind of color here. Cutthroat Minis, how long you wait on your oil wash before doing cleanup? Like 4 hours minimum. If it's oils, I tend to like to do it overnight. If it's enamels, then you need to do it a little sooner than overnight. Paint it like your favorite Pinours. I don't know. Also, folks, don't forget to like the stream to stroke the algorithm's attention. Yeah, I wonder how much that affects streams. I think the new model going forward for CFM is going to be shorts every day. Every single day. No, we're not going to miss any days on shorts. Basically from now into forever. And then we're going to try to get a video out every 2 to 3 weeks. And then the streams are kind of... it's for you guys. It's for y'all who watch. It's for y'all who are already here. It's a place where you can direct your influence over what's going on. You've basically only used Parasite Brown for skin tones on Knockout. Yeah, exactly. It's such a good color. It's really good color. Big recommend adding to your collection, but yeah, I think you're right. So we're going to avoid that. I do remember Pale Flesh being really chalky. So we might actually use a different tone. Also, speed paint markers aren't worth getting for anyone that can use no problems with brushes. I think that's true as well. The whole the gimmick, it's a gimmick to me. The tiredness, y'all, the tiredness is real. Do I have a skin tone up here? Do I even have a skin tone up here to work with? I've got sunny skin tone. I've got flat flesh. I think sunny skin tone is not gonna work here. Ugh. Let's see. Sunny skin tone, 2 yellow. Flat flesh could be a good mid-tone for the skin. I think these are our colors. Boy, back bishes, yes indeed. Okay, so I think Prywinko is going to be heavy skin tone with flat flesh highlights. And then to unify the model, we'll do flat flesh into pale flesh for Kittew. Because I wonder that, like, that really, really pale, translucent, like SPF vampire color. Very pinky skin, like a cat. like cat skin. Hey, it's an ad. Flat flesh is your jam. Oh, nice. I gotta tell y'all, I'm fighting the urge to take a break at this point. I think we should at least get through, what, like another half hour? Get some progress. Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. I'm afraid if I take too much of a break, if I take a break right now, I'm gonna just like lose all progress or lose all momentum.
Yeah, did you work out?
Do I work out?
Okay.
Bye, everyone. She can go on forever.
Shit, what was that? Take the bottle out. 2, 3, 5, 6. Thank you, Mr. Slink. It's been the first set of those in a long while. All right. What's the other one?
We're talking about the thugs. T is for terrible, H is for hell, U is for ugly, and G is for jail.
Is it with a Z? Or is it with the S?
Hot, moist, spicy news.
Okay. Let's dig into some flesh work. And a double helping of gravy. Double helping of gravy. Alright, we're gonna show the camera. Please focus, camera. Beige brown. And we're gonna do heavy skin tone. So I think we're going like 50-50 maybe. We'll take a little bit of matte medium. I think maybe 2 drops will be good. I'm gonna take some water. About 6 drops. And then we need a good brush for mixing. Yeah, there we go. I think we're still too thick, actually. So we're gonna put 3 more drops of water in that. We're gonna start establishing Prywinko's skin. And we're gonna use our nice sharp 4 round. Good fresh point on it. Start digging in on some skin. All right, the painting can begin. All right. Buckle up for dozens of hours of glazing. camera is not focused on any of that. It hates looking at models. This is still like, how is this still so thick with like 8 drops of water in it? Put another like 5 in there. I think maybe my heavy skin tone, since it's like 1,000,000 years old, has like partially evaporated and is intensely thickened up. Now it's starting to perform like a thinned paint. There we go. This is still getting like crazy intense coverage. This may be one of those does not feather colors. I don't know if it's the heavy skin or if it's the beige brown that's mixed into it, but one of these tones does not do light coverage. It's got that same like pigment front thing going on that we had with the middle stone. That's unfortunate, but that's okay. We've dealt with this before. We shall deal with it again. It's still like, holy fuck, it's still so thick. I'd probably put another 10 drops of water in this. In fact, I'm going to put another like 5 in it. It's like it's not thinning out. Have I unlocked the secret to infinite paint? The paint, you add water to the paint and it just stays paint? Almost no noticeable
Another
difference.
Nate asked me, how do you feel about painting a racy, not quite raunchy pinup model? Oh honey, I'm all about a well-executed pinup sculpt. There's nothing like the challenge of bringing out all those subtle details and making it pop. It's all in the way you handle your brush, if you catch my drift. Gets the creative juices flowing like NULN oil. Just remember to keep your paint in a bag and prime on stream to really tease out those tones. Ain't nothing better than turning a mini into a masterpiece.
It's all about how you handle your brush. Jesus. You know what I mean? What the fuck? Yep, this is doing the same thing in the middle. You can't thin this color. You cannot glaze with this color. So we're just gonna have to do like very deliberate application here instead of trying to do any kind of glazing. This still has like perfectly opaque coverage with 15 drops of water in the 4 drops of paint. That's bonkers. Some colors just do not glaze. And this is one of them. Yeah, look at that awful, like, pigment front. I think I'm gonna have to use it like whip shading to get it to kind of half-ass look like that the edges are feathered, because it does not feather. It just deposits full-strength pigment at the end of your stroke. Fucking hell. Lame. Super lame. Maybe I'm hoping that the flat flesh mixed in later will save that. Bonkers. It's funny to think that like super strong coverage is usually such a desirable trait in your paint. Right up to the point where you're trying to feather. And then like intensely good coverage is a really, really bad quality. Yes, I do know what you mean. Yes. Yeah. I don't know if y'all can see the like, you can't see nothing because it ain't focused on the model. Yeah, no, it's flattening it out. You can really see paint brushes or paint strokes in the model. God damn, the fucking focal depth. On this camera is ass. I think there might be something just like broken with my Brio. Cause like the I think I've said before, so it's focused right here and the slider is like 85% of the way to the left. Okay? There's this much space between the camera and the object, and 85% of the focus bar is in between here to there. I feel like the camera was never actually meant to be manually focused. That's all I can imagine. Oh, this is such a miserable experience. Yay, I love when colors don't thin. What do I do here? Do I mix it into like mix it back into the blue so that maybe I can blend it into the blue shadows? Or do I just paint it rough? Keep it real rough. Flat flesh glazes just fine. Well, hopefully the flat flesh will save it. Problem is I want it this color. I think I'm just gonna have to do like a lot more layers than I was expecting. So I can deliberately control where things are going. It's just weird. There's like a greenish yellowish kind of pigment that kind of does this. Like it never thins out to where the edges are translucent. And I bet you this color, just based on its kind of tonality, has that same pigment that made up the middle stone, whatever the chemical is. All right. This is fine. This is fine, though. This is fine. This is fine. You know, as we saw from the from that dang old Dr. Faust video the other night, we can always glaze back in the dark colors when this inevitably takes it a little too far. Just work in the opposite direction. Yeah, I think that's our recourse. Okay, well, I'll tell y'all what. We hit 3 hours. I'm gonna be stuck in basically repeating what I'm doing right now for the next million years. So I'm going to call that good for the stream. This is a nice little preview of what's going to be going on for today and tomorrow. And I should be back Wednesday morning or Wednesday afternoon. Afternoon for, I guess, everybody, really. I'll come back Wednesday, and we'll have more fun stuff on the agenda. We'll be working in like later colors, fine details, lighting. I need to spend the next like 2 to 5 hours tonight building up these skin tones and maybe the clothing if I can get to them. That's kind of what I'm thinking. And get these presentable for a Wednesday stream so we can do final details and get those done. Then we'll edit Thursday all day. Video drops on Friday. In the meantime, shorts every day. And yeah, make sure to, if you're catching this via the algorithm after the fact, let me know in the comments down below if you made it this far. I want to know. It's not just for the algorithm. It is also for knowing. So let me know. And yeah, keep an eye out for more shit garbage around here. We fart into paper tubes. But for now, I need some lunch. And I'm gonna go get that. So catch y'all Wednesday, noon o'clock. Join the Discord if you ain't already there. I want to see what you're working on, and I'm sure some folks in the community would also love to see it as well. Anyhow, 3 hours is good enough. I'll catch y'all later. Goodbye.